Well, howdy folks, Hellcorrex here, and welcome to Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. And today we're going to be talking about episode 109, one of my very favorite mechs of the clans, the 55-ton mech, the Ryoken, or aka Stormcrow, as the clans call it. Now, today we're going to be talking about that 55-ton Omni that has all the bells and whistles I like on it. Now, it has 23 tons of pod space, so you can put all kinds of goodies on this thing. And it comes in with some interesting options that are already pre-built, or you can just build it however you feel like. Now, the Ryoken, as said 55 tons, is a 690, does not have jump jets. It has a Indo-Steel chassis with ferrofibers, which makes it pretty decent. That's why it has all the little goodies on it. It has 10 double heat sinks on the engine and has 182 points of armor. So this thing's almost maxed out, which makes it a pretty tough nut to crack. When you get something that has some armor levels greater than a lot of heavies, and it has the firepower of a heavy, there's nothing not to like about it. As you can see here, as the information's going by, one version I made off some Mad Cat arms has a couple PPCs, and it carries 2 PPCs and a couple SRM6 streaks. Think about that one with targeting computer. Now, what we have here is the alpha version, and we'll talk about the standard version, which is the prime. Comes in with a ER large and an ER medium laser in the right arm, with 3 double heat sinks, 3 double heat sinks in the right torso, with an ER large and an ER medium laser in the left arm, and 3 more double heat sinks in the left arm and left torso each, and then another ER medium laser in the head. Now this version here is really nice, being the prime version. It can dissipate what, 44 points of heat, and I think it causes most is 41. So it actually probably could have gone with, instead of having all knocked off one extra heat sink, and put another ER medium laser on there just for the fun of it. But you know, this is one that can go through the and cut you up pretty good. It works really good for tearing up elementals, opening, using it as a can opener from a fairly good distance. Of, you know, with those ER large lasers and those ER medium lasers. It can tear open most mechs pretty quickly. You put a good pilot in that thing, and it can go hunting, knock down, and chase down any type of recon elements that might be trying to do flanking maneuvers, or, you know, whatever you do. And I had one game where I had 2 of these, and let's see, it was a Vulture, Mad Dog, and what the heck was it? Other one. And I played this head-to-head game at Gen Con one time, and I just ripped guys to pieces using it. And the maneuverability of the Ryoken, it made the game for me, because it was able to go around, get into the flanks, hammer somebody quickly, you know, with a lot of firepower, and they were not a happy camper after the end of it. Alright, now the alpha version, so the other one was the prime. The alpha version, which isn't so bad, this is kind of a missile boat, has a LRM-20 in the right arm with 2 tons of ammo, so it can go 12 turns, which is more than enough, typically in most games. Then you have an SRM6 streak, which I do like, with a ton of ammo in the right torso, and the same identical thing in the left torso. So we have a pair of streaks, and we have 4 medium pulse lasers in the left arm. Okay, the only problem with this one is the heat problem. Yeah, it could dissipate 20 heat, so you can, with this one, you're looking at the 4 6. You can do 26 heat with it real quickly if your streaks lock on. But it's one of those ones where I do like using it. You can get in and it makes a great hunter killer or a crit hunter, because while you're closing off, you're just hammering away with those LRM-20s and just kind of fire and forget type of deal with those things. And you can do a lot of damage with them, up to 40 if you're really lucky, if you hit bull, or just the 20, I mean. And then, so that's your long range weapon. And then you turn around, and when you get in close, you just say, don't care about the LRM-20 anymore. And then you hit them with the pulse lasers, you get in 12. And then you just like, all right, hit with the pulse lasers, and I'm just going to see if I hit with the lock on with the streaks. And that's where your heat could be higher or lower depending on if they lock or not. If they don't lock, it's no big deal. You know, you can be running around with 18 heat, run, fire. All right, I got 18. Okay, I think I'll say try to lock on with the streaks, depending on the numbers you're going to need. A lot of times it's like, okay, it's going to be fairly good chance I'm going to hit with these, so I might just roll one of them. And if it's really bad chances, I might roll 2, just to give myself a second chance of trying to get one of the 2 to lock on. And if they don't lock on, there's no heat, so you're good. Now, if you do lock on, then you're going to have a little bit of heat problem. You're going to slow down, which makes you a easier target to kill, but you do have the armor to back it up. And then if you're running in conjunction with a lot of heavier mechs that are bigger targets, so if they're slightly slower, they're going to be looking at those things and be like, oh, we're going to try to knock down that assault mech or that heavy mech that's coming at them. So they're focusing fire on them, and it allows these fast movers to take a little bit more chances to get into the flanks at a decent distance. You don't want to get into punching, kicking levels area of the game, because that's not where the clans like to be. You can do it, but I'd prefer to stay off a little distance. Use your weapons, because you got longer distance weapons compared to the inner sphere. So yeah, you have to kind of keep a distance away from them. Now, if you're an inner sphere jock, pilot, close as quick as possible. Get into the punching, kicking range, because that's where your weapons do the best, is at shorter ranges. So you got to close the distance. If you're clan, you got to expand the distance a bit. Now, Bravo configuration, or beta, however you want to go at it, has 6 ER medium lasers in the right arm, 3 double heat sinks, an AC-20 Ultra with 2 tons of ammo. And that's in the left torso. So this is an interesting one. So you do have abilities. So you got 13, so you can dissipate 26 heat, but you cause 30, maybe 32 heat, depending if you're running, if you fire all of the ER medium lasers as you're closing in. So odds are you're probably going to fire 5 of them, and then if you're running, you're going up 1 pip at a time with the heat scale until you can get close enough. I'd rather had 5, let's say put 5 ER medium lasers and then another heat sink, and then that will keep you running really cool without any problems. Now, when you get in close, you can hit with the Ultra 20, so double tapping that thing. So if you're double tapping and you're in range of that thing, you're going to be doing 5 turns worth, and that's 14 heat right there. So you're looking, let's say if you're running, that's 16. You can dissipate 10, so you can throw a couple of ER medium lasers in there with no problem with heat, because you want to deliver your AC-20. Now, if you got a good pilot in that thing will rip the heck out of you. Because I know I faced down a Hunchback 2C at Gen Con, and that thing opened up on my Masakari and hit me with both AC-20s, and then he got double tapped both of them, so I took 80 points of damage real quick, and I was like, oh, that's not so great. But I stuck around for another couple terms. And let's see, we have the C version, Charlie version, which isn't too bad. Here we got a large pulse laser in the right arm, we got a medium pulse laser in the right torso, an LBX-10 autocannon in the left arm with 3 tons of ammo. So you're going to be running probably a couple cluster and solid, or solid and a 2 solid or cluster, however you want to go about it. And then you got a medium pulse laser in the left torso. So this one, yeah, you're looking at it's not really too hot. You know, your LBX cannon is going to be at the difference between, if you get in closer with the medium pulse range, yeah, the LBX cannon by that time is probably using canister, and I prefer using canister because you're going to be crit hunting with that thing. Is if somebody's got a whole bunch of armor ripped off of them and they're open up to inner structure, yeah, you use canister on them and then do those 1-point shots, unless they got improved armor or something, which could be a pain. You know, canister does no good against it. But it's one of those things where you, like the order, like I always said, there's an order of operations of how you fire. It's like you look at it, it's like, all right, these guys have, let's say, PPCs, large pulse lasers, a lot of heavy weapons, AC autocannons or something of that nature, or AC-20s. They're going to tear off most of the armor. And then I got an LBX cannon, or this guy has a previous one of the versions of, say, the alpha version when you got the streaks on it. You're going to be, all right, I want to go last or second to last because I got all the things that can maybe hunt down some of that ammo that might be exposed on a mech. Try to get those ammo explosions or knock out some equipment with those crit hunts, or even getting some internal structure in hits in the center torso that could knock out the gyro, the engine, etc. Now, so that's not a bad version. I kind of use that every once in a while. Now the Delta version has an LRM-20 in the right arm with 3 tons of ammo. We got a NARC beacon with a couple tons of ammo. We got an LRM-20 in the left arm with 3 tons of ammo. And then we have 2 SRM-2s in the left torso with 2 tons of ammo. Well, I don't see the need for 2 tons of ammo. I'd rather use this, put it like a medium laser or something instead of the 2 tons. But hey, that gives you the option of putting some Infernals on board. So one standard SRM or one with ammo with Infernals, and give them some hot love type of deal. But with an arc beacon on this thing, you can tag somebody up with it, and then you get some great modifiers for doing extra damage on the cluster chart. As you move down, you know, a couple +2, so the odds of all your missiles hitting are increased. So this one is more or less a missile boat. You could stand off with this thing, run around the flanks. It has a lot of ammo, so you're talking something that can stick around for 18 turns and deliver a lot of firepower over the course of the game. So there's nothing to complain about that one. Now that's not a bad one. That is something that if you want to stay back at range and then unload, or what the wonderful thing about clans, you don't have the minimum range with their missile weapons, especially their LRMs. So you could get closer in if you wanted to and just put it right in their face. And that's kind of what the thing about the NARC beacon is that you need to get close to use it, so don't necessarily have to stand back with it. You know, like I said, you have some armor on this thing that allows you to close a little bit. Now, be honest with you, if I see a Ryoken that's getting a little too close sometimes, I'm like, that thing's got to die. Because I know what Ryokens can do, and it's like, sorry, buddy, you're target locked. We're going to take care of you. Alright, Echo version. We have the ATM-9. Oh, wow, my fan is going crazy all of a sudden. Must be getting hot. Did an update, and ever since then it's been doing that. Alright, so we got an ATM-9 with 3 tons of ammo, which gives you the option of all 3, which is logical, to be honest with you. So if you get close with that thing, you can do a lot of damage, and if you stay off at a distance, you can shoot from a long distance. We got an ER medium laser in the right arm and the right torso, 2 ER small lasers. That's kind of your anti-infantry kind of stuff. And then we have a double heatsink in the right torso, another ATM-9 in the left arm with 3 tons of ammo. Then we have an ER medium laser in the left arm, 2 small ER small lasers in the left torso, another double heat sinks, and an active probe. Alright, so this one is kind of with an active probe. This is giving it the opportunity to become a scout, running around trying to find hidden units, which is, you know, if you ever play games where you have hidden units or any type of infantry or vehicles that are hidden or mechs that are in a hidden position, it is beneficial to have a beagle probe or maybe some ECM. So that's a good option to have. I can understand why it has it. So you can turn this thing into a long-range missile boat, or you can close in with it and start doing some really good damage with it, with the other weapons. And it does have a couple extra heat sinks, so you're looking at dissipating 24. But with your couple E, you're not really worrying too much heat problems at long ranges or medium ranges. And then when you start getting in close with those small lasers, then it's a little bit warmer, but you know, that's not a big issue with that one. And then we got an F, which is one I haven't used all that often because it's more advanced technology. That one has a plasma cannon with 3 tons of ammo. Then we have 2 AP Gauss rifles in the right arm, a ton of ammo. Then we got 2 ER medium lasers, right torso, ER small laser in the right torso, double heatsink right torso. We got a plasma cannon left arm, so it's basically a dual image of what the other side is. So that one is a little more expensive. You're looking at 2,200. Some of these are mostly 2,200 when it comes to, except for the Delta version, that's around 1,600. For battle value, you know, I don't have much experience with this one because it's a fairly new design, and you're talking later in the war, because most of our games that we ever play go up to about 30-60. So yeah, so I can't really say too much about that. Other than the AP Gauss rifles, obviously you're using it for kind of a cleaning out any type of infantry types. It makes kind of sense right there. Then we got the G version, which has 5 ER medium lasers in the right arm, 3 double heat sinks, a HAG 20, yikes, in the left arm, and then we have 3 more double heat sinks in the left torso, and then it also carries 2 tons of ammo. Comes to around 2,100 battle value. Yeah, that one's a kind of a hard hitter, and you're looking at able to dissipate, so you got 16, so 32. So this one is designed to handle the 5 ER medium lasers, and then if you decide to use the HAG, get in closer, so you can shut one down or the other. But this is one of those weapon systems that it can handle the heat that it's putting out if you're using one or the other type of deal, or one plus a few others. But once again, I don't have too much experience with the G version. Then you have the H, which is a heavy large laser in the right arm, an ER medium laser in the right arm, 3 double heat sinks in the right arm, 3 double heat sinks in the right torso. You got a heavy large laser, so it's basically the same thing, and you're looking at having 12, 22, 44 heat you can dissipate. But it can actually, when you're looking at everything, it can put out a lot of heat. But it also can dissipate a lot. And it's not that expensive. That's only around 2K when it comes to battle value. But once again, it's one of those versions that I don't have a lot of experience with. I've seen it at Gen Con a few times, but you know, it's kind of a later design. Now, one thing I always liked, with a lot of, say you got a Ryoken, that's say the one I would like to use, you got some battle pod space on it, 23 tons. And I'll just bring up one. Here's one that I call the K version. We got a large pulse laser in the right arm. We got an ER medium laser in the left arm. We got 2 Streak 6s left and right torso, a ton of ammo each. And 2 ER medium lasers in the left torso and head. And it also carries a targeting computer. So that's one version I like to use. So it's basically kind of a short range one. So you're looking at, you're still, and I got 14 double heat sinks too. Now, the longest range weapon you do have on it is a large pulse laser, so you're shooting out to 20. Alright, so that's kind of your closer. And something that's shooting out at longer ranges with a targeting computer, so you're looking at a -3 right there. So you could put a good pilot on it. So it's hammering away constantly with 10 points most of the time. And then when you get into within 15 to, so if you're looking at 13 to 15 range, you can toss in a couple, you got, 25. You can throw in your 3R medium lasers and a large pulse laser, and then you could run and still not have to worry about heat. Now, with the streaks, which I do like about streaks, you can look at your targeting configuration and go, okay, get in close and say, what do I need to hit? And then when I'm really close, I'm most likely going to do is maybe not use my large pulse laser, depending on what the odds are of hitting. Let's say my target's real easy, I'm needing 2s and 3s or 4s. I might go with not using the large pulse and then just fire the 3 medium lasers and then see what the streaks do. Okay? And it also depends on if I'm close enough where the target I'm hitting is missing a lot of armor. If he's missing a lot of armor, oh yeah, I'm going to hit him with this, try to hit with those streaks and go crit fishing. So that's kind of one version I like. Now another one you could do is, I have done in the past, is put, let's say, a couple streak 4s, save up a little bit of weight there, and then use 1 ton of ammo to feed the 2 launchers, and then downgrade my large pulse to an ER large laser, and then throw some jump jets on it just to give it a little bit of mobility. It's more of a running around. Say if you're looking at hitting a city fight or something, I'd rather have something that's able to get around from building to building to building, get over any type of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a configurations I like to use with mine. But in a nutshell, that is the Ryoken. So like I said, it's one of those ones that's going to be a bear to knock down because it has so much armor on it that when you're taking it on, somebody looks at it and goes, oh boy. If they don't have much experience against them, they soon realize that the Ryoken is not something to play with. Oh, that reminds me. You could also do the version like I have here, 2 streak 6s and 2 large pulses or 2 PPCs, and then throw the rest into heat sinks because you're going to need them. So that's something to think about also. But it's a really, really good mech. It's my favorite clan mech. One I always like to, if I have an opportunity and I'm building my force, there will be a Ryoken in it, someplace or another, that finds its way into the mix because I like them so much. So if you haven't used one, go out and get them. You won't be unsatisfied. It's a very good mech. Alright, this is Hulkrex, and we will talk with you guys later. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. Alright, see you later.